Challenge Cup. Leeds come out to a raucous round of applause. Widnes come out to a rapturous standing ovation. Never heard noise like this here at the AutoQuest. It is a stadium which generates atmosphere even when there's only 2,000 or 3,000 people in. Doesn't look quite full at the moment, but estimate that they're expecting about 7,000 to 7,200 here this afternoon, and there should be a fantastic atmosphere. We'll just go over the teams at the moment. I'll do the Widnes teams. So we've got Phil Daly from Leeds here, and I'll hand you over to him for the Leeds team. Full back for Widnes, Jim Salisbury. The backs, James Breyers, Dean Cross, Danny Myler, Damien Monroe. Half backs, Paul Manson and Mark Hewitt. And the Widnes pack, Lee Hansen, Phil Cantillon, George Mann, Paul Harris and Lakini Sevilio, Jimmy Cassidy and number 13 after the late fitness test. On the interchange bench for Widnes, Fabian De Vici, Terry Reid and Jason Hunter, Steve Argent at number 17.
Well, this is Phil Daly here, and welcome to what is looking like going to be a very interesting encounter between the Premiership Widnes Vikings and Super League's Leeds Rhinos. And the Rhinos team at number 1 is captain Iestyn Harris, then it's Leroy Rivet, Marvin Golden in for Richie Blackmore, Brad Godden and Francis Cummins, and the half-backs are Darryl Powell and Ryan Sheridan. Ryan Sheridan, of course, has been man of the match on the 2 occasions in the Challenge Cup so far. The pack for the Rhinos is Fleary, Jackson starts at hooker, McDermott, Hay, Newton in the second row role, and at loose forward Mark Glanville. And the bench for the Rhinos, Jamie Matthew, Murray Masella, Paul Sterling and Kevin Sinfield, as Iestyn Harris gets the game underway and kicks into Widnes, and it's well received by Widnes.
Well, that was a great kick and a good chase, but good cover by George Mann. He raced over to take that loose ball. It would have been a knock-on anyway, but obviously both sides fired up for this. Leeds hot favourites now for the Challenge Cup after defeating Wigan and St Helens. Widnes, well, it's obviously the biggest game of their season. It's the biggest game for the Vikings for many a year, in fact. The boys are fired up for this one. Hopefully they can do themselves justice. The ball back to Manson, kicks it deep, but that will be fielded by Iestyn Harris.
And Harris runs back into the fence. He's got half a gap. He's still going, and he's just shy of the halfway line, 5 metres from halfway. Leroy Rivet in a dummy half. He looks to scoot away, and he does, just makes it up to halfway. And this is a good start for the Rhinos. Jackson in the dummy half gives it to Sheridan. Sheridan out to McDermott. He's a man wanting to do impressing today. And the ball comes out the back door to Newton. Newton's got Hay outside him, tries to go himself. And he comes back inside to Glanville. Glanville out to Hay. Hay finds Godden. Godden can't quite take it in. And he's tackled. And this is a great start for the Rhinos, Phil.
The important thing was that the first quarter of an hour, Leeds took things steady. The defence looked solid in the first set of 6. The attack showed the willingness to get the ball out of the tackle. Brad Godden there just couldn't hold on to it. Encouraging signs, particularly the way Leeds got the ball out of the tackle.
But Godden, referee Steve Presley, judging that it went forward. So Widnes will get head and feet at this scrum.
Well, you can see the danger off Leeds already. Iestyn Harris there went round 2 men, but Manson has done a couple of super tackles so far, and Widnes there hassled and harried Leeds into making a mistake, and Manson almost opened up a gap for himself. Fiery start by both sides. Damien Monroe straight into a big tackle from Fleary. Oh, George Mann almost got through. It took a last-ditch tackle from Lee Jackson. Widnes overcrowded on this near side, too many players, and there's a blood bin for Paul Harris coming off, blood pouring from his face. Widnes just a bit disorganised now at the moment. The Leeds defence moving up very quickly. Now Salisbury, well, Hewitt is inside his own 40, or was he? It won't find touch anyway.
And Francis Cummins picks it up for the Rhinos. He's got Harris outside him, goes himself. We saw last week at Gateshead the risky business of throwing passes inside your own 20, and Francis Cummins makes the safe option. Now Marvin Golden, he'll be looking to impress. He's in for the injured Richie Blackmore, and he'll be looking to have big games. He played well at Gateshead last week in bad conditions. This is Mark Glanville. He takes it up over the 30. The players both looking at the referee now. They look over again. Newton in the second row role, and he's playing like his good friend Adrian Morley as he powers into the tackles and push men off. Now Lee Jackson scooting up the field. He gets the offload to Darryl Powell that makes it over the 40. This is good stuff from the Rhinos, always putting pressure on the Widnes Vikings. Now Sheridan finds Harris puts the little bomb up. It's going to land on the 10 somewhat, but it's well diffused by Widnes.
Good catch by Jim Salisbury. Good work by James Bryers to act as a blocker. But the speed of the Leeds Rhinos team is devastating here. They're getting the ball out in the tackles, and there's always a man in support. Widnes can learn a lot from that. My guess is that by half-time, the Widnes players' lungs will be on fire and they'll be gasping for breath. They're tackling superbly at the moment, but you can just see Leeds getting the ball out of tackles. Oh, well held by Salisbury. He couldn't get the ball out. James Bryers fancied his chances there. It's the last one for Widnes. Hewitt, the kick charged down. It's still the final tackle. No, it's back to 1 because it was a charge down. Mr. Presley signals back to 1. So Widnes gets 6 more, but they just can't get past that 10 metres from the halfway line. Cassidy, big game for him, although he's played in bigger games than this. But remember the semi-final against St Helens at Wigan. That's a great break by Phil Cantillon. Cassidy, George Mann, good hands to Myler. Into a wall of defenders though. Hansen and Manners. Don't forget, Widnes have got some experienced players out there. Hansen and Mann have both had experience of playing big game football. It's the final one for the Vikings. Manson himself is a big game player as well. Widnes trying to keep the ball alive, but Jason Hunter, who's on for the injured Paul Harris, caught in possession.
Marvin Golden like an exit missile there, fighting his man. And this is Leroy Riven who takes it up over the halfway line. Great defence from the Rhinos there. Even though they had 2 sets of 6 against them, they had no worries. They just kept their form and kept the tackles coming in. Good stuff. And this is Andy Hay producing the goods now. And now Jackson feeds Glanville. Glanville out to his good friend Godden, who takes it up. He's brushing off the men and makes it up to the 30. Brad Godden never says die in the tackle. This is Sheridan. Sheridan feeds Fleary. Fleary looking to create a hole. Of course, he played here for Emerging England last summer at the AutoQuest Stadium. The ball seems to have been ripped out there. Steve Presley looks to his touch shots, but it's been knocked on by Fleary in the tackle, and that means Widnes will get the head and feed here.
Well, it's a great start by Widnes in defence. Leeds obviously making a better attacking start, but the fans are attempting to get behind the Vikings all week. In fact, for the last 2 weeks since the draw was made, people have been saying, well, you never know, anything can happen. Well, I think it's a big ask of Widnes here, but they certainly up to now are doing themselves justice. But Leeds are just man for man pounds bigger than the Vikings. That's what they do for the living. Widnes players have had to take time off work during the last week or so to do preparation and even things like television interviews. The Leeds players, that is their work. But Widnes coming forward strong. Hewitt, Cassidy, dummies, straightens up, but he can't find a gap this time. And Manson finds himself at half-back. Fans not happy with where Mr. Presley's taking the Leeds line, but that's a good kick by Hewitt. Just gives Widnes some breathing space.
And still the Rhinos press the Vikings and not giving them any space or time. And this is just what Graham Murray will have wanted from the lads, Phil Kaplan.
Yeah, certainly the difference between the teams at the moment seems to be in upper body strength. You look at the likes of Lee Jackson, Terry Newton, the bust that he's made at the moment, Mark Glanville, and in the tackling department certainly Leeds have got the power. On attack they're looking to spread the ball wide. The pitch conditions favour them today, unlike at Gateshead, and I would imagine there'll be some sparkling rugby as the game wears on. The opening 8 or 9 minutes is exactly as you would have expected it, and there's the first penalty.
And it's to both sides that is the first penalty of the day. Both teams wanting to play attacking rugby, wanting to get on with the game, and that may cost Widnes dear in the later stage of the game, because the Rhinos know how to play at this high Super League tempo. This is big Barry Mack. He drives it up to the 30. Good work by the Oldham-born player. Now this is Sheridan. Sheridan feeds Fleary. Fleary taking it up, but he gets a warm reception from the Widnes pack as they're in close attendance for the tackle. This is Powell. Powell looking for runners, finds Hay on the inside run. Hay still going, looking for runners with him, but there was no one there to take it off him. Newton feeds Sheridan. Sheridan finds Powell. Powell driving it up. He's 5 metres short of the line. Now Jackson in at dummy half. This is the options that the Rhinos have. Newton or Jackson in at dummy half. This is Sheridan. Sheridan couldn't keep hold of the ball. He knocks it on. Salisbury collects in the in-goal area, but that's good defence from the Widnes Vikings. They were on the mark there.
Well, you would have put money on Sheridan to go over the line there, but a great tackle by Mark Hewitt, and the ball went loose. And you can't fault the defensive effort by the Vikings at the moment. Chris Musket with me, of course, as usual. Chris, it's a big job for the Vikings, this.
Yeah, even in this opening 10 minutes, Gary, you can just see the ferocity of the Leeds players. They're a lot stronger and bigger, but at the moment, Widnes are matching them man to man.
Certainly, and I don't think anybody could have asked more of Widnes in the opening 10 minutes of this game. Hansen. Good break by Cantillon. He steps as well. That's good work by Phil Cantillon. Hewitt, George Mann. Well, Harris back on for Hunter. Final one for the Vikings. And this time George Mann just scuffs the halfway line as the ball goes into touch. And it will be a scrum on that 20-metre mark.
Again, good defence from the Rhinos. They're up very quick on this Widnes attacking line. And it just proved there, Brad Godden very sharp to what was going on there, and the kick didn't find any sort of yardage at all. Rhinos get head and feet on the halfway line, and this will be where they'll be looking to run one of the set moves. It was one of the trademarks last season, the moves from the base of the scrum, and I'm sure they'll have something up their sleeves now as Powell hits the line looking for runners. Harris was there, but he takes it now from dummy half, dummies, and goes himself and finds Newton. Newton on the crush ball. Good work from Terry Newton there. He'll come all the way around from the base of the scrum to collect that ball. Now this is Fleary. Fleary always looking dangerous in the middle of the field. He's doing a lot of hard work out there today. Martin Masella starts on the bench, and so Fleary has to do the hard work that Masella normally does. But there's big Barry Mack, and he'll never shirk the work. Now Sheridan looking for a gap. Finds a ball out wide to Glanville, but it didn't go to hand, and it's collected by Widnes.
Well, Leeds certainly making their gaps, but you've got to give the Vikings credit because it's the last-ditch effort here. The crowd unhappy because the Leeds player, technically offside position, although unintentionally, cut off a potential pass. I think that's what the fans are upset about. Still whinging at Mr. Presley to get them onside. But that's one aspect of the game that perhaps will never change, no matter what other things come into force. Harris put down by Fleary. Don't forget Leeds, by the way, without Richie Blackmore, Adrian Morley, Marcus St. Hilaire and Anthony Farrell today. So in a sense, perhaps a weakened Leeds team, although you can't tell that by looking at it. The Vikings get their first penalty, and Harris again goes off for the blood bin. This isn't looking good. It's the second time. I can't make out where exactly the cut is on Harris, but it may be that he it may be that he'll have to do what I remember David Hume doing in the Premiership final once, and lying down and having it stitched. Pitch side. Hansen. Lee Hansen, I think, is one player who will lift his game to his full potential. He's put in some good games for the Vikings this season, but I don't think he's quite played to his full potential. But I think this atmosphere and the importance of this big game will just get that extra 10% out of him. Oh, unlucky Manson and Myler, a misunderstanding there, and the ball goes astray and Leeds take possession again.
Good take by Francis Cummins there earlier. Now Harris takes it up to the 30-metre line, and the ball seems to be ripped out there, but Presley says no, and Widnes have got it fair and square, but Jackson wasn't square at the play the ball, and it's a penalty to Widnes.
Well, I can't understand the tackle was made. Leeds maybe just attempting to get too many balls out here. It was a pass that was never done, and it was flicked back by the Widnes player. I think it was Cassidy who knocked it back, and then the penalty coming from that. But again, maybe Leeds just trying a bit too much there, Chris.
Yeah, a bit of overconfidence by Leeds, Gary. Just trying to get that extra pass out. At the moment, Widnes are doing well to keep them down in the Leeds own half. This 2 points is a good it's a good break for the forwards, especially now they're all getting the water and the air supply on.
So Hewitt, with at the moment an important kick, because it will put Widnes 2-0 up against, on paper, on current results anyway, the best team in England. Well, I don't know, there's a bit of ballet dancing going on out there. I don't know if that's part of the Super League training regime, but it doesn't put Mark Hewitt off, and the Vikings take a 2-0 lead. And I don't know if Phil Daly felt maybe a bit of overconfidence by Leeds. They're trying to get one pass out too many to lose possession.
Certainly have to do the basics right, and it really has lifted the home crowd here. They've seen Widnes take a 2-0 lead, and if anything, that should focus the Rhinos' minds now. They should really know they have got a job, and they have to play to the same standard they would do week in, week out in Super League. Widnes will get the ball again. They'll be full of confidence, wanting to come back at the Rhinos.
Awkward bounce on the kick, but eventually it sits up for Jason Hunter. Credit to Widnes though, because they have forced mistakes out of Leeds 3 or 4 times now. The Rhinos have lost possession. Cassidy feeds George Mann. Mann dummies. Nothing there this time. Jason Hunter was outside him. Hewitt wants forwards to take this ball in. Hansen will have a go. Sorry, that's not Hansen, it's Sevilio. He was looking to get the ball out. Last tackle, back to Hewitt. Dummies, Widnes are going to be caught in possession. Well, that's not where you want to turn the ball over, but you've got to give that down to the Leeds defence coming up so quickly.
Brad Godden is having a storming game on defence, and this is Barry McDermott charging his way through. He makes up to the 30 for the Rhinos. Jackson in the dummy half finds Sheridan. Sheridan out to Newton. Newton spins in the tackle. He'll be looking to offload here if he can, but the tackle's made good and sound. Jackson pleading with Presley to get the players off so he can get the ball away. This is Sheridan. Sheridan has Harris outside, and Harris comes inside looking for runners. No one's looking on it. And this finds Cummins off the ground. Cummins has got Godden leaping outside him, but decides to take the tackle. Safety first early in the tackle count. This is McDermott. McDermott looking for runners. Finds Hay on the sweep around. No real urgency in the Rhinos' attack. No one wants to take the ball out. They're not desperate for it yet. And that'll have to change. Powell drives it up 5 metres short. He's looking to offload. It's the last tackle now. What options will the Rhinos have? Jackson's in at dummy half. They go left. Harris looking for runners. He finds Hay, but Hay's well telegraphed and he's dropped the ball. Presley looking to his line judges, and he gives the try. The ball seemed to have been spilled, but he was in good position, Presley. And Andy Hay gets a try, same as he did last year for Emerging England at the Ornaquest Stadium. The first try goes to Andy Hay, and that'll be a good one for the Rhinos to settle them down, Phil.
I think it just shows what happens if you respect possession. That was only the second time that Leeds have played out their sets of 6. Far too early in the tackle count, they've been losing possession, trying to throw passes that weren't really on. That's what caused the penalty down at the other end. That time, Iestyn Harris had looked for runners, they hadn't been forthcoming, so he held the ball up. The man coming in support was Andy Hay, too big, too strong, brushed off the Widnes tacklers, just plonked the ball down on the line, no dramatics. Referee Presley right on the spot, had no hesitation in awarding the try. Some of the Widnes forwards blowing a little bit, they're not used to the pace of the game. It looks like the first try should settle Leeds down. Harris now going for the conversion.
And Harris, who's been in great kicking form, slots this one over, and that gives the Rhinos a 6-2 lead. And for Widnes, the fact that they couldn't get the ball away and that last tackle there has cost them dear.
Yes, it comes down to the Leeds defence coming up so quickly, but it is a big mistake by the Vikings. Manson just couldn't get the kick away. Maybe the kicker needs to stand a touch deeper. They're obviously not used to defences coming up this quickly, and hopefully they can adjust that as the game goes on. But it was a great try by Andy Hay. The Widnes defence had worked hard, but you can't stop that power from 10 metres out.
And so now Widnes will kick the ball back to Leeds. And this will be an important set of 6. This will prove whether it has settled them down. It's a low, hard hit kick, and Rivet lets it go, and he's let it go in and touch after touching it. It was bobbling and bouncing. It was a horrible ball to take. Even though the pitch is in good condition, it was bouncing all over the place, and Lyric just couldn't judge it. And as we were saying, it was important for Leeds to have a good set of 6 to make sure they have settled into the game. They'll have to hand back possession to the Widnes Vikings.
Well, that was a great kick. And the Tannoy players, come on, just get behind the crowd. But I don't think these players need reminding to come on, because Widnes at the moment are doing as much as anyone could ask of them. They've got a chance now to attack Leeds in their own half. 6 tackles to get as close to the Leeds line as possible. And Hansen, so far, is having a storming game. Cassidy gets the ball out wide. Manson shows the ball. Oh, a great tackle. Salisbury, Cassidy. He's looking in the middle, always searching Jimmy Cassidy, but there was nothing there then except, unfortunately, the big bulk of Fleary. It's the final one, a chip over the top. Well, Myler chases it, but I mean, Yestin Harris, the fullback, Great Britain fullback, one of the best fullbacks that the British game has produced, and I don't think he's going to be too upset by those little kicks over the top. I'd put the ball on the floor for those myself.
And the offside means that the Rhinos get the penalty, and they come out now with Fleary. Good charging from the prop. Here's the other one. They work in tandem to the props here at Headingley. And it's McDermott, and now Jackson. Jackson finds Glanville. He's in his final season of his career, and he'll be wanting to get to Wembley more than most. Jackson feeds Sheridan. Sheridan scooting across the line, looking for a half break, but the tackle's put in well there by Civilio. This is Jackson. Jackson finds Newton. Newton out to Golden. Golden out the back door to Rivet. Rivet still going. He's got Newton outside him. He goes again. He puts the high ball into Newton. Newton can't take it, and it's well collected by Manson there. And no panicking by Widnes. Good defence.
Yes, that was a brilliant tackle by Salisbury, and like you say, no panicking. That's nice to see. He showed him the outside, weighed things up, and forced the attacker to throw the ball wild back into the field of play. And thankfully for the Widnes fans, it came to Manson. But well, Widnes obviously raised themselves. We've had 22 minutes now, and it's 6-2. This is clearly the best that the Vikings have played this season. The worry is, of course, that this big game may take it out of the players for 2 or 3 weeks to follow, and that could affect the league form. But if they can play like this every week, then there's no reason why they couldn't be champions.
Rivet bounces off one tackle. He could go all the way here, and he's just got the... Oh, Phil Cantillon, his former teammate from Leeds, puts the tackle in. It's a wonderful cover tackle for Cantillon, but a great run from Rivet to set the space up. Now this is Fleary in the middle of the field, drives it up. And it's a high tackle on Fleary. The only way they could bring him down was to do it illegally. And the Rhinos will have a penalty right in front of the post. Interesting to see what they do here. Harris is coming in. He's speaking to Jackson, and it's a quick one. Harris puts it out wide to Glanville. Glanville's got men outside him. He's got Godden, goes outside to Cummins. Cummins throws it back inside, and Godden tries to collect it. Glanville just flicks it to Hay. Hay can't take it. This is basketball stuff from the Rhinos. Hay will settle it down here, makes it up to the 20. They regroup some of the ground they lost there. Jackson out to Powell. Powell's got Newton outside him. He finds Newton. Newton spins in the tackle, looking to offload. He finds Jackson again. Jackson looking to offload again. Finds Newton. They work in tandem, the two hookers from Leeds. But the ball looked to be ripped out, but he says that it was knocked on, does referee Steve Presley. And the Widnes Vikings get away again.
Oh, brilliant defence. It was enterprising stuff by Leeds to go for the tap instead of the penalty kick, which obviously Widnes were expecting, but it was great defence. A fantastic tackle by James Bryers out here. But then things went well for Leeds. Even though Widnes was forcing them backwards, they still kept possession. But again, top defence wins possession, and it was a good one-on-one steal.
Yeah, Widnes just need to keep the ball in the tackle, try and stop the Leeds defence offloading all the tackles, because they just take tackle after tackle all the time.
Well, Manson, I think, hoping that Cummins would lose possession there, but he does well.
The Rhinos' top try scorer last season, Cummins, a good run from him. This is Marvin Golden, takes it up to the 40. Jackson in at dummy half. He's got Rivet outside him. It comes back inside to McDermott. The crowd are baying for blood for a forward pass, but Steve Presley wants none of it. This is Fleary feeding off McDermott, finds Harris. Harris has got Glanville inside him. He finds Hay. Hay to the line, but it's a forward pass. Steve Presley called that very late. And he said it's a forward pass that'll be head and feet to Widnes, and just as the Rhinos were looking like they were had Widnes on the back foot, Phil.
Yeah, I think Leeds need to show Widnes more respect. They've shown from their defensive contribution that they are worthy opponents, and really Leeds should have taken the 2 points that were on offer earlier. They butchered a try-scoring chance, and I think Graham Murray would be saying, just get back to basics, play out your sets of 6. You don't have to score tries on every possession.
Well, I don't think the final pass there by Harris was forward, but the fans did shout for one earlier on. I wonder if Mr. Presley was doing a bit of making up for mistakes there, but Widnes will gratefully accept that, no matter what. Widnes fans still not happy that the Leeds players are standing offside at the play of the ball. Hewitt. Harris back on. Cantillon again, makes good ground from the half-back. Widnes just short of the halfway line. Hansen wants a quick play of the ball. Well, he's given a knock-on. Well, it definitely wasn't a knock-on. I think Hansen was playing for the penalty there. He threw the ball at Barry McDermott, who was on the floor and didn't move out of the way, but it wasn't a knock-on anyway.
Some very strange decisions taking place in the game. This spell in the game, Mr. Presley needs to get control of it now. This is Harris, finds Godden. Godden spins out of the tackle, as is his trademark, but he's eventually brought down. Harris in at dummy half finds Glanville. Glanville's got Jackson outside him, and it's Jackson now who goes in the dummy half, finds Hay. Hay has got Fleary outside him. If he chooses to use him, he doesn't. He just takes it up. And as Phil Caplan was saying, Leeds going back to basics and making sure they grind out the set to 6. This is Newton. Newton looked like he ducked under the tackle, but he was brought down by Dean Cross. Sheridan finds Powell. Powell out to Fleary. He takes it up over the 10. He's 8 metres out from his own line. It's the last tackle. What options does Jackson bring here? He finds Harris. Harris maybe a little grubber. No, it's Hay. Hay finds Godden. She was straight tackled, but Godden skips out of one tackle and scores the try. And it's as simple as that. He bounced out of one tackle. The tackle wasn't made. And really, that's fundamental basics of Widnes. They played so well in defence. They really haven't kept their composure, but he didn't put the tackle in there. Godden bounced out and he scored the try, Phil.
Yeah, perfect set of 6. Just what we were saying. Leeds control the ball, respect possession. There were no silly passes. They went 50 yards there in a set of 6. And on the last tackle, there wasn't anybody really crashing onto the ball, but Hayes' power took him past the first tackle. He found Godden, and even near the line, he couldn't be stopped, twisted out of the despairing clutches of a Widnes defence that has been heroic, but unfortunately started to look a little bit tired.
Yes, they seem to have him covered, and they've done all the hard work, but I think once again, it's just the sheer power of the Super League players, and Widnes obviously not used to it. These Leeds guys are playing at this level every week, week in and week out, and Danny Myler just couldn't keep hold, and after all the hard work, Leeds again go further ahead.
And so it's another low bouncing kickoff. It worked last time. It's fair to say he can try it again, but Rivet collects it this time and takes it up to the 20. And Marcella's on for the Rhinos, on for Fleary, and so Graham Murray spelling his forwards. Usually that would be the other way round, Marcella coming off, but he's on now, the Tongan, and it's Hay. Hay inside to Powell. The two number 13s on the park, tussling away there. Jackson calming things down. He finds McDermott. McDermott takes it up, but Widnes offside, says referee Steve Presley. And as you can expect, the home fans not in total agreement with the referee there, to say the very least. Jackson now finds McDermott. McDermott carries on where he left off, 30 metres up the field, and he's eventually brought down 18 metres out on the left-hand side of the field. Jackson finds Sheridan. Sheridan out to Marcella, just on the park. He spins out of one tackle. And he's eventually brought down. Jackson looking for Glanville, but finds Hay. Andy Hay, what an impact he's had in this game so far. Adrian Morley out injured, but they haven't missed him in the last 2 games. Andy Hay's picked up the work line. This is Powell. Powell out to Newton, finds Golden, but Golden had drifted into Leroy Rivet's space. Still not tackled, finds Newton. Newton, will he scoop for the line? Double movement there from Terry Newton. Would have been wiser to take the tackle, and Widnes will be given the ball on their own line, and that's a reprieve for them.
Well, it certainly is, and again, the last-ditch tackle. It's never say die so far from the Vikings. You wonder how long they can keep this up. There's 10 minutes to go till half-time, and, well, I think maybe, in all honesty, we can expect the fitness of the Leeds team to tell even more in the second half. But again, we saw Leeds get the ball out of the tackle. That is the crucial thing, besides the power. It's the ability to keep the ball alive, and there's always a support player. And no matter what the final score here is, Widnes hopefully will learn from this experience. The Widnes fans still shouting for Leeds to get onside. I think that's why they felt aggrieved at that earlier penalty for offside. Severely, but he took that ball standing still, and the Widnes players, I think, now the pace beginning to tell, but that was good hands. Myler shows the ball. Good quick hands. It was a great take and catch by Salisbury. Well, just when I said Widnes were looking tired, they've suddenly come to life. Kick for the corner, touch finder. Good work by Manson. And suddenly, as Widnes looked dead on the feet for the last few minutes, they came to life.
And so the Rhinos get the head and feed here. Sheridan feeds Powell. Powell got Harris running inside him, but just crabs across the field. No real yardage made there. Harris, he shoots from dummy half, looking for runners. He finds Hay. Andy Hay always available for the pass, and he gives the pass out to Jackson. Jackson finds Golden. If he can bust the line, he could go, but he's brought down. Hanson in close attendance there. Now this is Jackson. Jackson feeds it out to Masella. Masella, he'll just take it up. That's his game, making the hard yardage for the Rhinos. Now Jackson out to Sheridan. Sheridan, mismove with McDermott, finds Glanville. Glanville tackled well though. This is good work from Widnes. They may be tiring, but the effort isn't dropping off in the slightest. Powell makes it up to the 30-metre line. This is gone. It's the last tackle for the Rhinos. Sheridan finds Harris. What will Harris do here? It's a bomb over into the corner. Rivet chasing. And it's well taken there. Good play by Breers. And it's good defensive efforts from Widnes.
Certainly, I'm just saying here to Chris Muscat, if Widnes now, I think, are playing to the full potential, this is what the Vikings are capable of. And if they can match this effort every week, then I think we would see something happen here at the AutoQuest Stadium. That was good work by Dean Cross to do a bit of shepherding for that high ball. The ball goes loose, a high tackle on Phil Cantillon by Masella. And Cantillon looks to be hurt down there. Bodies come on all over the place. There's water flying about now for the Vikings. I think there'll be 7 minutes now to half-time. I think Widnes will be glad to get in at half-time, have a bit of a breather, and hopefully come out with the same attitude in the second half.
Yeah, it's an exceptional play by Widnes to keep Leeds down to 10-2. Hopefully it could be this for half-time, but
Widnes would love to score again before half-time, but it's just the difficulty of breaking this Leeds line. Now there's Lee Hansen spinning in the tackle. Didn't make too much ground that time, but Widnes now looking to get the ball wide. George Mann straightens up. Severino, he's taking on the Leeds defence, and he makes good ground. Well, offside. I think that's one of the few times when the Widnes fans didn't appeal for offside, and Mr. Presley gives a decision. He ain't nothing but a hound dog. And Hewitt is going to go for the 2 points. Well, why not? Because that would put Widnes back within a 6-pointer. And I think if you'd said 10-4 at half-time, there wouldn't be too many Widnes fans who would be upset with that half-time scoreline, although the players I'm sure, convinced that they can win this one. It's the only way to go out there with that conviction. Certainly outlived, I think, anybody's expectations, this performance by Widnes up to now. But again, this is the belief that the Vikings fans have held in this team for the last 3 years, that they could play to this potential. And now Widnes may finally have the team to live up to that. Substitution being made. Jamie Matteo is coming on. Who's that? And then Barry McDermott goes off. Hewitt is 12 metres off the touchline. 20 metres out. And it sails over. And Widnes are back in with a shout at the Phil. I think even Leeds must be a little bit surprised by this scoreline at the moment.
Certainly, we mentioned in the commentary that Leeds have to respect possession. This has to be the same as they'll play next Friday night against Wigan. It's the same practices, and they have to make sure they do keep their minds on the games. Widnes are a fired-up team. They're at home in the Cup. They've got nothing to lose in this game, and they're putting a wholehearted effort in. And the Leeds Rhinos must make sure they do put the pressure on and do put the points in and get what is going to happen eventually. Make sure that it does happen, because it won't happen by accident.
That was a brilliant take there by Jamie Cassidy. I think he went there as a blocker initially, but realised he had to take the catch. Well, Widnes working hard. Play on, says Mr. Presley, working hard to find gaps in this Leeds defence. And I'm sure more experienced teams than Widnes will find that difficult this season, but Cassidy makes a gap there for Harris, and Jimmy Cassidy's just getting more and more involved as this game goes on, and that kick finds touch. Great kick by Cassidy, absolutely playing out of his skin at the moment.
Good kick there for Widnes, and it does put the pressure on the Rhinos. They'll head and feet in their own 10, and this will be an ideal position for them to work this set of 6. We're now just coming up to the half-time hooter. They'll want to go in maybe with another score on the board. 10-4 at half-time will certainly give Widnes a boost. They may be flagging in that dressing room, but when you look at the scoreline and know you're only one score behind, it will give them a boost, and that's something the Rhinos have to make sure doesn't happen. So this is their captain, Yestin Harris, who takes it up, and he's still going. Bounced out of 1, tackle out of 2, and he's eventually hauled to the ground by Manson. Jackson in a dummy half finds Glanville. Glanville crosses the 20, makes it up to the 30. Good work from the former Newcastle Knight. And there's another former Knight, Jackson, who feeds Matthew. Matthew, he takes it up. He's just on the field for McDermott. Jamie Matthews, such an impact player when he does come on off the bench for the Rhinos. And Masella, he takes it up to the halfway line. The Tongan tank charges it upfield. This is Jackson again to Newton. Newton playing in the second row, takes it up to the 40. Jackson again looking for options. It's the last tackle. He finds Harris. Harris, a little kick through. Still going is Harris. Another little soccer skill tile kick. And Newton puts the tackle in, went slightly high, but the ball went backwards and Widnes have it.
Well, hearts in the mouth times there for Widnes. Damien Munro fumbled the ball. Salisbury fortunately picked it up. But Harris again showing the danger man that he can be. 1.5 minutes to go, and well, maybe Widnes would be best to keep safety first, say as Manson throws a long ball out. But can you imagine the reactions at the grounds and stadiums around the northwest of England and London if this scoreline stays to half-time and it's announced to the crowds around England? 10-4 for Leeds. I think people will be shocked.
Certainly wasn't the expected scoreline. Some bookmakers giving Widnes a 32-point start earlier today. This is Jackson. He feeds it out to Glanville. Glanville's got Hay outside him. Just takes his time, settles it down, finds Sheridan. Sheridan looking for runners. Takes it up himself. Certainly looking busy, Ryan Sheridan, in this game, as he has done all season. This is Harris. Harris spins in the tackle. George Mann didn't put the tackle in though, and he's still going, is Harris. He's eventually brought down. And there's Widnes players in the way, but Jackson gets it away to Sheridan. Sheridan finds Newton. Steve Presley was well on hand to see whether that wet pass went backwards. He didn't give it. And now he's given a penalty against Leeds. Terry Newton pulling the shirt, playing for the penalty, and saying Leeds don't need to do that. You just need to play the game out and play their set to 6, and time will tell.
Well, I think the longer the Widnes can keep this scoreline, we're now in stoppage time, by the way, in the first half, and if Widnes can come out and maintain this effort in the second half, I think Leeds will become frustrated, and things like that will happen more and more. But it's been an impressive performance. Leeds came out with all guns firing. The Widnes defence, though, has been exceptional. Just 2 tries from close range by Leeds, really, that Widnes could do nothing about due to the power of the players involved, Godden and Hay. But this Vikings team can be proud of itself so far with this first half performance. Trying everything also to find a gap in the Leeds defence, the short balls to break it down. There is the half-time hooter, and Widnes get a standing ovation as they go off at 10-4 down. Haven't managed yet to score a try, just 2 conversions from Hewitt. Hay and Godden the only try scorers, but who knows, can Widnes keep this up in the second half? Phil, I think Leeds will have some hard talking to do at half-time.
They certainly will do, and that ovation the Widnes Vikings are getting as they go off the field will give them a massive boost in the dressing sheds, when they may be flagging, their spirits may be down as far as fitness is concerned, but they'll come out fired up for that second half. The Rhinos have to take a long, hard look at themselves and start showing their class in this second half. That will tell they have the class in abundance, but they've got to put it into gear and make sure that it works. Join us for the second half. So, Widnes looking to get the second half underway. They trailed 10 points to 4, but certainly the reception they got when they came back out for the second half was electric as Salisbury kicks off again. Sheridan controls it with his foot, then finds Newton. Newton drives it up to the 20. George Mann was there first of all to put the tackle in, but it's Cantillon who gets the final tackle in. This is Glanville. Glanville driving at them. This is what Leeds need. They need a big, powerful set of 6 just to remind Widnes who they are and where they've come from. This is Marcella. He takes it just shy of the 40. Jackson in quickly at dummy half finds Matthew. Matthew just nearly overrun but took it perfectly in the end, and he makes it up to the halfway line. And Jackson finds Newton. Newton drives it up. And this is the final tackle. The Rhinos just shy of the Widnes 40. Harris puts the little kick into the corner. Widnes are chasing back, and that's a lovely kick from Harris. Really pens Widnes back, and now the Rhinos will have to put in a big defensive set of 6, keep Widnes down here, hopefully force a mistake and to get the upper hand quickly in this second half. And we see that Paul Sterling is on for the Rhinos, on for Francis Cummins. Not quite sure. Cummins has moved into the centre. Let's just see, and it's Powell that's gone off. So looks like Cummins has moved up to full-back, and Harris, I presume, has moved into standoff. Well, while the Rhinos shuffle their pack, Widnes go about their job, and they're driving it up now.
Yeah, I thought they might move Harris up to the standoff just to give a bit more penetration against this tight Widnes defence, which I think has taken Leeds by surprise this afternoon. Man, well, he spins away and bounces off, but the support had all gone past him. It's all to no avail. Manson with the kick, but Leeds offside. So Widnes will hopefully make some easy meters here. But I think the danger signs are there now with Harris at standoff. I think this will be a different kettle of fish. I wondered exactly how they'd go about that with Marcus St. Hilaire not being on the bench, the usual swap over. But it could be dangerous for Widnes.
Yeah, this is what they need, Gary. A good set of 6 now and get the confidence up. Just show the Leeds players just exactly what Widnes can do.
What they do need to do is find some way of breaking the Leeds line. And the Leeds haven't yet had to chase the Widnes players. The short balls have nearly done that on a few occasions, but not quite. And of course, without doing that, there's no way of scoring. Cassidy, nice attempt, but Sheridan saw what was happening there, stood his ground and covered the gap. Damien Munro has a go. Well, drop goal, up and under. It's an up and under. The chase is on. He's lost it. Oh, Cantillon knocks on as well. First knock on. Well, that was so close, and Widnes could have levelled the scores there if Phil Cantillon had been able to keep hold of that ball. It was a good kick and a good chase, and Chris, I think that would have been beyond our wildest dreams there.
Oh, that would have been the icing on the cake, that, Gary. Absolutely brilliant. Just unfortunate the Widnes player couldn't get it down without knocking on.
I think it took Phil Cantillon by surprise. Blindside move, Cassidy. Munro comes in, and the Vikings have scored! A simple blindside move. Widnes have scored the first try of the second half. Sensational turn of events here at the AutoQuest Stadium. It's still early days, and being the eternal pessimist that I am these days, I still think that Leeds' power will tell eventually, but it was a good blindside move there. Jimmy Cassidy came out, and Damien Munro barged his way over. Now a difficult kick here for Hewitt, but he could tie the scores.
Just a simple but effective move from the back there. Cassidy picking out the Widnes winger, and hopefully now this can level the scores.
Well, the AutoQuest Stadium has never witnessed scenes like this. The last time we saw anything like this, of course, Widnes played at Norton Park. But this is just unbelievable, and it's great that finally, after years of patience and patient support, the Widnes fans have got something to shout about. Many of these fans, of course, weren't here in the darkest days for the Vikings, but they've flocked back this season as the results have gone in favour of Widnes, and it's good to see them here. And personally, as one of the people that has stuck by the Vikings, it's a good feeling to have done that and now be witnessing something to shout about at last. No matter what the final score, Widnes have done themselves justice, and it's 10-all. Well, Phil, I don't think you must have dreamt about this in your worst nightmare.
Certainly, it all goes back to the bomb. Rivet went up for the ball, it wasn't collected. Presley gave head and feet to Widnes the scrum. A simple blindside move, well worked. Munro showing that he played in Super League, quality player, and he's proved it. And now the Rhinos know they have a game on their hands. The scoreboard is tied, it's 10 points all. Widnes will have the ball back in their hands if the Rhinos can't collect this, and they must put the tackles in the Rhinos, and they must put pressure on the Vikings.
Well, there's no way that anybody was going to get to that ball before Jimmy Cassidy. For my money, Cassidy at the moment is the man of the match for the Vikings. And he just typifies, though, the determination in this Vikings outfit at the moment.
Superb, that's the way to explain Jimmy Cassidy. Everything he does at the moment is turning to gold. He's making yards, he's making gaps, he's playing out of his skin, Gary.
Let's not get carried away, of course. We're still playing the top Super League team on current form. We've heard at half-time that Warrington are getting beat by 40-odd points by Bradford, and it just makes you perhaps wish that we got Warrington in the draw, but who knows. Well, I've criticised people before today for saying anything can happen in Rugby League, but I'm starting to become convinced myself. But I still, in my heart of hearts, think that Leeds' power will tell at the end. But it's a moment of glory for the Vikings, and who can say they don't deserve it?
And the speaker system's been cranked up another notch here at Widnes. They're really getting the fans going. They've got something to cheer about, and they're praying for their lads to come on and play well. The Rhinos have to counter that on the field. They have to put the pressure on. They have to get some scores on the board. This is Brad Godden. How often last season he was the man that fired the Rhinos. Jackson finds Golden. Golden skips out of one tackle and takes it up. But there seems to be an extra step in the Widnes defence. They seem to be up just as quick as the Rhinos now. Jackson finds Glanville. Glanville out to Matthew. Matthew dummies and goes himself up to the halfway line. Jackson calming things down. He tells Harris to get back. He's got this in control. It's MG, Mark Glanville, who takes it up just shy of the 40-metre line. Jackson again finds Masella. Masella drives it up. Lots of one-off stuff from the Rhinos, but they did well there. They saw the Widnes were offside. They went for it again. Harris, this shows the mark. This is a compliment to Widnes. Harris is going for the kick. It's 30 metres out, right in front of the post. No real breeze to speak of. And they're taking no chances. Had they taken the 2 points earlier in the game, then it may have been a different story. That might have meant that Widnes had started playing catch-up football. As it was, Leeds elected to run that one. But now the right decision, Phil. Harris looking to get the points and give the Rhinos the lead again.
That's it, it's a cup tie. You get no second chances if you make the wrong decisions. Leeds need to push themselves back into the lead, need to exert the authority on the game. Harris taking his time, studious man when it comes to goal kicking. He's right in front. This will calm nerves if he can put it over. Swings back the leg, straight as a die. The flags show that the ball has gone wide of the post. It'll be a dropout, and Leeds will get the ball back.
Just drifted to the left-hand side of the post. Kevin Sinfield is warming up on the bench for the Rhinos. He's coming on. I think it may be Mark Glanville that's coming off. We'll just wait and see. Sinfield, and a mocking PA system here at Widnes. Well, that might just be the wrong idea. You don't want to fire the Rhinos up. They're playing well within themselves, and Cummins takes it up. He runs straight at the Widnes line. He'll be looking to prove a point. He wants to get back to Wembley. He's tasted defeat twice, and he'll have to make sure he can get there if he wants to taste victory, and that means winning today. Jackson finds inside to Golden. Golden takes it up. Makes a good 10 metres there. Jackson again finds Sheridan. Sheridan's got Masella outside him. He misses Masella for Harris. Harris out to Hay. Hay on the run around is tackled well. Still we wait for Sinfield to come on. And it's a penalty, another penalty to Leeds. The ball pushed out there, messing around the play the ball by Widnes. Harris kicks the touch. The Rhinos want a set of 6, and still Sinfield waits on the sidelines. That young man wants an introduction into this game. Can he turn it? Martin Masella drives it on. Jackson finds Sheridan. Sheridan and Matthew outside, and big Jamie Matthew takes it up 7 metres out from the Widnes line. This is Jackson again. He gets it away quickly to Harris. Harris looking for Glanville. No options for Harris. He runs into a hole, and he's tackled well by Manson. Now Jackson again finds Sheridan. Sheridan can't take it. Newton collects it. Ball went backwards. And well played by Terry Newton, the cool head in drastic situations. Golden rather just takes it up. No real options. Now it's the last tackle. What can Leeds do? It is Glanville that comes off for Sinfield, but he won't have any part in this as Harris looks to runners. He had to wake an age for that. Kick goes through from Golden. Sterling quickly off the mark, and he's pulled the man in a touch. Good chase by Paul Sterling and Brad Godden, and it means Widnes will have to kick out, and lots of pressure on Widnes now.
Yeah, there's great spell of defence, but they have now got a lot of pressure on them. But, well, I thought that was a knock-on earlier. I think it was off Sheridan, but the two Widnes players had an opportunity to dive on that ball and didn't take it because I think they expected to be given it as a knock-on as well. Well, Jamie Cassidy's coming off. He's suffered medial ligament damage last week, but had painkilling injections. I think that was the plan anyway today. But for my money, he's been having a great game. Steve Argent comes on, but Leeds now with 6 more chances to attack.
And Widnes losing Cassidy, who was having a storming game for them. What part will that play? Now Masella drives it up to the 20. Good work by the big prop forward. Jackson has Sheridan outside him. He finds Sheridan and Matthew. Matthew tries it up the middle. He's never scored for Leeds. He's not going to score there either. Jackson again quickly in the dummy half finds Sheridan. Sheridan out to Harris. Sheridan on the run around finds Newton. Forward pass, maybe was it? Steve Presley gestures that it was a forward pass, and the ball head and feed to Widnes, and it was so important the Rhinos came away there with some points. They haven't done that, and Widnes will breathe a huge sigh of relief.
They certainly will, defending 2 sets of 6 tackles and forcing Leeds into mistakes. But the Widnes perhaps need to steady their own ship at the moment and not get carried away with things. Giving away a couple of penalties since equalising, which has given Leeds easy yards. Just need to keep the game steady. Harris.
A good set of 6 is needed by Widnes now, just to steady the form. Good 5 tackles up and then a good kick and a good chase. That'll do Widnes the world of good, Gary.
Steve Argent comes on there and takes 3 players 5 metres with him. What a great experience this is for the young lad. He's looking to take his second drive. Cantillon makes some yards. Final one. Hewitt. Kick downfield, it bounces awkwardly. Oh, Cummins juggles with it but takes it in the end.
Graham Murray's heart will have skipped a beat there as Cummins juggled with the ball, but he does take it and he's tackled. Hewitt chasing his own kick, pushed the tackle in. Rivet steals the ball from Sinfield. He wants to put the ball out and get it over the line, so he's putting the pressure on. Now the other winger, Paul Sterling, comes quickly in at dummy half. What can they do? This good work by the wingers. They're doing the hard work. They know their team needs to make yardage. Jackson, Sinfield outside him, comes back inside to Hay. Hay to Sterling. Sterling busts the line. Good work by the Wolverhampton-born winger. Jackson out to Sheridan. Sheridan finds Matthew. Matthew's got Harris outside him, but just takes the tackle in the end. This is the final tackle. Jackson finds Harris. Harris has Newton outside him. It's a little kick through. Rivets take it, chase him, but it's well collected there. Newton puts the tackle in. Good chasing by the Rhinos to make sure Widnes are Kent in their own area.
It was good work by Munro. He had to keep in field. He went down, anticipated the tackle. James Bryers comes in field, but now it's getting hard for the Vikings. This is where the difference begins to tell, because Widnes have lost possession. They can't get out to their own 20 metre, and a crucial loss of possession. Chance on the outside.
And still Sterling goes. He's 2 metres short of the line. Good work by Kevin Sinfield to set that up. This he comes inside, and Masella for the line. Just held short. Powerhouse of a prop, just couldn't make it. Jackson finds Sheridan again. Harris with Golden outside him. Harris looks to go himself. So often that scooting wrong has proved evidence for the Rhinos, but not there. Now Newton finds Sheridan. Sheridan always available, but no runners for him. They're running into him. This is Cummins. Cummins just takes it up. The Rhinos have to settle this down and make sure they have a platform to go from to work the set moves from. Jackson finds Sinfield. Sinfield steps off one. He could go for the line. He may be a young man, but that's an old man's head on young man's shoulders there. He bounced off the tackle, the strength of the youngster, and may well have scored the try that takes the Rhinos into the semi-final, Phil.
Yeah, we were speaking at half-time that this might be a game tailor-made for Kevin Sinfield. Plays in the middle of the park, but he's got the speed of a back and the strength of a forward. He showed both of them there. And Leeds needed to keep patient and they needed to keep disciplined. They've had a lot of possession at the start of this half. And again, it's just showing that the difference in fitness standards between Super League and Ford Premiership sides.
Looks like Jimmy Matthew may be going off as a blood bin substitution. Brian McDermott's coming back on, as Harris adds the 2 points. 16 points to 10, the Rhinos lead then. We're well into this second half now, and a crucial time for the Rhinos to get that score. Widnes will have been getting the oxygen in their lungs. It will be really beginning to burn now. The ball back to the Rhinos to come at them again. And this is a crucial time for the Rhinos. They have to make sure they control this game now. McDermott's back on for Matthew. He'll have a big impact, I'm sure. His big barging runs that will zap at the energy within the Widnes players' legs. And it's a kick across the floor. Obviously a favourite tactic here at the AutoQuest Stadium as Newton tries it up. He's been fiery all day, has Newton. He needs to keep his head now. There's no point in any sillies at this stage in the game. The Rhinos have to keep their heads, have to keep their discipline. Let Widnes show that if it's in their game. Now McDermott runs straight at Cantillon. And Cantillon keeps the tackle in well, but he said he had to let him go. Now Jackson goes away. From quick tap the ball at the penalty. Good work from Lee Jackson there. Harris in a dummy half finds Masella. Masella drives it up. Really, this is good stuff for the Rose. This is just what they need to keep it going, to lift the tempo. That's what it's all about. McDermott, we said his power runs would zap at the energy stores, and that's what they're doing now. Jackson finds Sheridan, still tackles to spare. Harris has Golden outside him, but Golden runs straight at him. No real options there. Golden's just tackled by two men waiting for Harris. Now Harris goes himself, finds Sheridan. Sheridan finds Masella. Masella takes it up. Steve Presley has a good look at his touch judge to see if that was a forward pass. He was on the spot himself, decided not to take the option himself. Now Sheridan has men outside him. Hay quickly outside. Sterling collects. He's got tackles coming in. It is the last tackle. Sinfield needs to put the little grubber kick through. He does. He could collect it himself. Oh, the youngster, he comes off the bench, collects his own kick. How good is he, Phil Kaplan?
There's a lot of judges saying that he could go all the way in this game, and that's two flashes of genius inside 3 or 4 minutes from Kevin Sinfield. There was really nothing on there. Leeds probably did the right thing to spread the ball out to the left on the last tackle. The Widnes defence is starting to look a bit tired. Leeds were running them around. There was really nothing on when Paul Sterling beat his man. Came in midfield. It needed a general to decide what to do, and an old head on young shoulders. Sinfield backed himself. A lovely little chip through. Jim Salisbury had come up into the line to, I think, end this Widnes resistance, and heroic though it's been, class will probably tell in the latter stage of this game.
Behind the post, and an intelligent kick through, and Sinfield, well, he's changed the game since he came on, and Widnes now, it's all uphill.
And so Sheridan collects and takes it up himself. So powerful, such a small frame, Ryan Sheridan. He really is a difficult character to take down. This is Rivet. Rivet runs straight at Cantillon. And now Jackson out to Sinfield. He's already got 2 tries in the bag. He offloads out to Jackson. Jackson looks for Hay. Just couldn't quite get the ball away. I'm sure he would have done in the tackle there if he had the option. But Harris goes away now. Harris, he bounces out of one tackle. He's looking for options. That option is Sinfield. Sinfield finds Golden. Could Golden go all the way? A great tackle by Manson there. And this is Jackson. Jackson to Sinfield. Sinfield finds Harris. Harris out to McDermott. McDermott offloads again to Harris. Harris finds Godden. Godden for the line. Brad Godden goes to the line, but he's saying that it was a forward pass to McDermott. He took an absolute age to decide that, did Steve Presley. He looked to his touch judge. He didn't make the decision himself. And Brad Godden is denied a try because Steve Presley takes another man's opinion other than himself.
Well, I think Mr. Presley thought it was a forward pass. He looked at the touch judge instead of making the decision himself. And once he'd let the play go there, then he shouldn't have pulled it back for the forward. But I think he realised the possible injustice if he allowed that try to stand. That's a big hit by Masella on Sevilio. Sevilio, of course, with Super League experience at Salford, but he felt that one. He's injured. He's hurt his shoulder, I think, Sevilio. George Mann, Widnes trying to give the ball some space on the outside. Widnes fans still shouting to get them onside. There's 18 minutes left now. I think you've got to say the game's gone away from the Vikings with those 2 tries in quick succession. Manson with the kick in. If that goes in touch, well, was Manson inside the Widnes 20-metre line? I don't think he was, but he was only a yard outside it, and I still can't understand why. He quite often does that. He stands 1 metre this side of that crucial line, kicks it into the opposition half and fails to get the ball back. If he stood a metre back, he would still find touch, and it would be Widnes head and feed.
And still the Widnes fans chant on for their team, and fair play to them. They've been in great abundance here today. They've come out to see their team, and long may it continue for the success of Widnes that these fans do return in the Ford Premiership. And now Harris finds Cummins, who's chimed in from fullback. Out the back door to Godden. Now can Godden collect that try that he was denied? Oh, a lovely tackle by Manson, just clipped the heels of Godden. He has had a storming game for Widnes today, but likewise Brad Godden for Leeds. He's been everywhere on defence, and on attack he's shown the type of flair that we've come to expect at Headingley. And it's a penalty to Leeds. Well done, Kevin Sinfield. He knew exactly what he was doing there. He played for that. Widnes obviously frustrated. They look to the score, but it says 22 points to 10, and they just laying on at the tackle. And Steve Presley gives the penalty. The penalty count now certainly riding up 8-7 in the favour of Leeds, and so very evenly contest between the two sides. Now Jackson takes the ball in, it finds Sheridan out to Harris. Harris has got men outside, and that man's Terry Newton. Terry Newton offloads out the back door, misses Hay but finds Harris. Harris out to Godden for the line. Marvin Golden for the line. A great try for Marvin Golden, well worked. Came from the set move, worked it all the way across the field. Marvin Golden collects the try, and it's great to see that when you do put the simple passes in, play the simple balls, these things will come off.
Yeah, Leeds have had the overlap on a number of occasions, but the man with the ball's chosen to either turn back inside or look for the short drive. Again, discipline is the key. Widnes gave away a penalty on their own 30-metre line, and you can't do that at any level of football, never mind against Super League opposition. But really now it's a question of booking seats for semi-finals, I think.
And we'll not know till a bit later on who will face in that semi-final as Harris misses the kick. Not the greatest boot, day with the boot for Yestin, but they've been difficult kicks. But knowing his high standards, he'll expect to have got them all. And so now Widnes know they must kick the ball back to the Rhinos. The last two kicks have resulted in tries. What will happen now? They have to keep this pressure going, Rhinos, for their own pride and their own sake of view. They have to keep going here and put as many points as they can on the board. There's a big game next Friday night at Headingley when the Wigan Warriors are coming. Wigan have only played one game since the cup defeat, and that against a mediocre Hull side. Davici on for Hull as Rivett collects, and he'll be looking to get a try now, seeing as that his centre partner Golden has got one in the bag. Jackson feeds Newton. Newton drives it up, runs straight at Cantillon. Looks to get the ball away, but the tackle was well made. And now big Barry Mack. He drives through and drives a massive hole in the Widnes defence. There's three men on him trying to drag him down. Barry Mack takes a quick look to see who they are. This is Lee Jackson scooting away from dummy half. He hasn't got the support though, and the tackle's eventually made. Terry Newton in the dummy half this time, no loss there. And now Ryan Sheridan misses Sinfield and finds Harris. Harris out to Godden. Godden to Sterling. Sterling should back his own pace here. He dumps and turns and goes again. And is he put in touch? No, he's just tackled short. Sterling should have backed his own pace there. He had the line in front of him. Instead stuttered and came inside. Sinfield out to Harris. Harris, oh, tackled by Hansen. It looked like a high one. And it was. No, it wasn't. Turnover. A fair tackle, a big crunching tackle that sent Harris backwards, and good defence from Widnes.
Yes, it was a massive hit from Hansen, but before that even, brilliant full back play by Jim Salisbury. He's having his best game so far for Widnes also this season. He gave the outside, cut off the inside, and had the winger exactly where he wanted him. Managed to stop him forcing his way over the line. Widnes, I think, now just aiming to keep this score respectable. Also, they've made some substitutions. George Mann and Danny Myler have gone off, and Jason Hunter and Fabian Divici have come on. Lee Hansen's also coming off, and Terry Reid is coming on. Cantillon, quick tap. He's got nobody in support. He's penalty for stealing the ball. I think he's given offside as well. I don't know if that was justified or not. But I think Colin Whitfield's doing maybe two things here. He knows that the game's lost. In all realistic assessment here, Widnes aren't going to come back to win this game. So possibly thinking ahead to the league game at, would you believe it? league game on Wednesday at Featherstone away. What a test that's going to be for these players. Obviously saving some legs there, but I think also wants to give people like Teddy Reid, Fabian De Vichy, Jason Hunter, give them a taste of the big time here at the Auto Quest against Leeds. Steve Argent drives forward. 11 minutes left. Widnes 16 points behind. Oh, the ball goes away. Can't afford to lose possession like that. I think, as Phil said earlier, the tries Leeds scored 3 tries in 10 minutes. 2 of those coming from penalties given away by Widnes, and now the Vikings lose possession in a good attacking position. But I think now Widnes will just be aiming to keep the scoreline down and do themselves justice.
Phil Cantlon and Leroy River having a chat about the old days at Headingley there, and I'm sure that'll all be forgotten afterwards in the bar. So Mr. Presley making sure that the back row stays bound down, hello, rugby union style. Now Sheridan scooting away. Sheridan's found a half break. He finds Cummins. It's a foot race now. Can Cummins make it to the line? Oh, what a wonderful tackle. Francis Cummins looked to have made it all the way. Now Jackson finds Sinfield. Sinfield's tackled. Francis Cummins looks winded on the floor. That tap tackle was a saver for Widnes. Andy Hay back inside to Sinfield. Sinfield, is he going to get a hat-trick, the young man? Sheridan looking for runners. He's just tackled short of the line. Francis Cummins still down on his haunches. Goes out wide. Past Golden, and Rivet collects. Now Golden feeds it inside to Harris. Harris finds McDermott, who's coming on the run around. McDermott powering towards the line. He's made it to the line. Try for Barry McDermott. The sheer strength of the player and the power of the Super League player told. And really the break from Ryan Sheridan, we go right back to that. We've seen it yesterday in yesterday's game from Francis Maloney for Cass. It's so important that you're very alive from that position at the base of a scrum.
And not only that, but you've got to give credit to the men in support, and Francis Cummins playing at fullback, new lease of life today because he's seen a bit more of the ball, made a great break, kept himself alive, flicked away a beautiful pass to keep the move going. Again, Sinfield at the heart of the matter, made sure that the move didn't break down, and a combination of pace from the back from Cummins and power from McDermott made sure that Leeds have scored in effect a 90-metre try in 3 plays. And as the game winds down into its later stages, then some of the skills will be on display. Harris again has pushed the ball wide of the posts. It's a day I want to forget with the boot, but all credit to Widnes. They've played superbly in this game. It has been a good old-fashioned cup tie, and
well, certainly that will be the case from now on. It'll be a case of finishing off well, but getting the job done for the Rhinos. There's only a number of minutes remaining in the game, and Widnes, I'm sure, will have heavy legs now, but they have played outstandingly well today. No one gave them a chance at the start of the game, and they really gave Leeds a scare. And now the kickoff drops to Sheridan again. Sheridan finds Matthew, who drives it up straight at Phil Cantlon, a former Keighley and Wigan hooker. Now Golden, he drives it up, but he doesn't get very far. The 2 substitutes for Widnes putting the work in. Fresh legs on the field. Miss moves to Sinfield, again missed out to Golden. Golden finds Sterling. Sterling again comes back inside. He finds Harris. Harris finds McDermott. McDermott always alive since he's come back on the field. Barry McDermott has been so alive to the secondary phase of play. Now Masella finds a gap. He's got Jackson inside him, but he finds Sheridan. Jackson looking to get the ball away. He does to Harris. Harris, another miss move. Godden finds Hay. Hay again evident throughout this game. This is Harris. Harris looking for runners, finds Matthew, who has Masella outside him. Masella looking for an offload, but there's no one there apart from Jackson. Now Jackson feeds it out to Harris. Harris, interception. He only has Barry McDermott to beat Manson. And it's Francis Cummins who's covered inside and still playing. And the knock on there. Oh, unfortunate for Widnes there. The break was on, they just couldn't take the pass.
Yeah, it was good play by Manson. He knew he was never going to get there. It was good interception. James Bray's Briars supported him superbly, and I think Briars made the right decision. There were 4 Leeds players closing him down, tried to get the ball out to Munro, but Munro just couldn't hang on to it. But you can't fault the effort of these boys.
Oh no, Gary, it's 100% every time. Absolutely brilliant again there by Manson. To keep the spirits. The fans are all still behind winners. You can hear them cheering. It's tremendous.
Well, I think Widnes now will just hope to keep them out. 30-10 is a respectable scoreline, probably reflects the game.
Jackson feeds out to Rivet. We're just about to hear the man of the match. And Rivet takes it up to the 30 minutes. And Andy Hay selected as the man of the match, his first try of the day. And he has been evident throughout the field, linking up in play. And it has been important for the Rhinos with missing Adrian Morley and Anthony Farrell, the part he has had to play in the game. Sheridan feeds Hay. Hay, will he cap his man of the match performance? He will. Mr. Presley looks to his touch judge. He's happy with that pass. Andy Hay, as if he heard the PA announcement, celebrates to a try, and he has been evident throughout the moves, always there, always available for the pass, Phil.
There's a great indication there of perhaps the difference between Super League and Northern Ford Premiership. Widnes, an interception, had virtually the whole length of the pitch to pull something out of the bag, but just lacked that belief and pace to make the chance tell. Leeds come back with the next set of 6, some ruthless handling and keeping the ball alive, and Andy Hay threw a big hole, looked at the fullback, realised that he could take him on, had the measure of him, went to the line, dumped the ball down, his second try of the day. And Leeds now in cruising mode at the end of the game, but full credit to Widnes. They really have held up the Northern Premiership end as Harris finally manages to put a kick over, and Leeds take command at 36-10 in the final few minutes.
36-10, probably a fair reflection of the game. The Rhinos pulling away towards the end, but certainly there's the Widnes players can feel no shame in that scoreline. They have played absolutely out of their skins today. Their defence has been outstanding, and I'm sure that if they continue this work throughout the season, they will certainly be up there or thereabouts in the Northern Ford Premiership. So now Rhinos look to go again. Golden collects a wonderful take from Golden there, takes it clean out of the air, and he skips around, makes it up to 23 metres out from his own line. Now Jackson feeds Sinfield. Sinfield, the man on for a hat-trick, as is Andy Hay. Will one of them get to take the match ball home tonight? We shall wait and see. McDermott offloads out to Jackson. The ball's gone forward there. No. Again, referee Steve Presley seems very scared of his whistle and won't blow it unless he's absolutely sure.
Well, he must be the only person in the stadium who didn't see that knock-on. Without wishing to sound too biased, I think the Widnes fans were convinced that there were 2 forward passes in Andy Hay's try, although you've got to be fair to him. He has had a top game, and it's nice for him to cap his Man of the Match award by scoring just as the announcement is made. But the Vikings now still going with 100% effort, and that is good to see as well. Although things have obviously gone against them in the latter stages of this second half, they're still determined to score, and they're still playing now with as much fire, enthusiasm and determination as they did in the first 10 minutes. Davici, long ball out, Munro drops it again, while Damien Munro not having the best of the last 10 minutes, and Leeds went off and scored from his last mistake. Let's hope it's not the same now.
Rivet takes the initial ball up. Jackson feeds Sheridan, who was going like a steam train, but it's Sterling who collects the ball. Sterling looking to go around the outside, but there's no room there for him. Brad Godden at dummy half feeds Hay. Hay takes it up over the 40, gets an offload out to Francis Cummins. Francis Cummins out to Brad Godden. It's a foot race now for Brad Godden. He's going to pin his ear back. No, he comes back inside, and he's just tackled. Lee Jackson was there in support, but he couldn't get the ball away. Nice and safe for the Rhinos now. Jamie Matthew finds Harris. Harris has got Golden outside, and will he go himself? He finds Rivet. Rivet for the corner. Leroy Rivet scores. And again, simple passes to hand across the field. And really, the Rhinos are taking control now. They took the ball up to 40 points, but there's still plenty of work from the game. But it's good to see they are getting the points now, Phil.
Yeah, it's a bit exhibition time now, and again, you can't make mistakes at any level of football and not be punished for them, and Damien Munro must be ruining a drop ball some 70 metres away from where the eventual try was scored. We were talking about man of the match contenders, and certainly Andy Hay has had a big game. For me, Brad Godden's probably been the most impressive Leeds player. He's been so solid on defence, and again, 2 or 3 long-range breaks down the left-hand side, and that one again set up the try-scoring chance. He again stopped and weighed up the options. Salisbury made a great tackle on him, and he just couldn't get the ball away for Jackson, but by then the Widnes defence was shot. Moved the ball wide, some orthodox handling, and Harris again pass selection better than his kick selection, and Rivet scores the try to take it up to 40.
Well, 40 points to 10 it is, and we are in the final moments of the game. One or two Widnes fans making their way out, but the vast majority are staying on. They'll salute their heroes, as will the Leeds fans, who know that the Rhinos are heading back to the Silk Cup Challenge Cup semi-finals. A regular fixture in the Rhinos fixture calendar. They weren't there last year, they were the previous 5 seasons, and they're going back this year. 40 points to 10 the lead. A short kick-off from Widnes, but Marvin Golden keeps his head and collects the ball eventually. Now Jackson feeds McDermott charging at the Widnes defensive line. 3 props on the field now for the Rhinos. McDermott, Matthew and Marcella on, as Newton had gone off for Matthew. Harris looking for runners, it's Hay. No surprise there, he's tackled just over the halfway line. Now Harris looks to go himself, he steps, comes inside, Godden looking for runners, Sterling, Sloop back inside, Sterling to Hay, Andy Hay for a hat-trick underneath the post. Man of the match and a hat-trick. He must be a very lucky man today, and I'm sure the drinks will be on Andrew Hay tonight.
Again though, great play from Harris and Godden. I think Harris has realised that every time he can put Godden in space, there's a gap there. Again, the Widnes defence, credit them with coming across in cover, but it was just numbers. Paul Sterling was the extra man, and again, great support play. Andy Hay taking the ball, looked round, saw the defence was shot, and I can't remember the last time or if ever Andy Hay has scored a hat-trick. It's certainly his first for Leeds. He'll be absolutely delighted, and it just proves that the press perhaps do know something.
And for Widnes, it's a shame that all the hard work done in the game so far is not really reflected on the scoreboard now.
I think that's the hard part to take. Anybody that's here have seen what an excellent performance Widnes have put up, and it's just been pure guts for them. But then when you look at the score on the teletext, or you read it in the papers and the rugby newspapers, at the end of the day, the score is 46-10, and that doesn't look good for the Vikings. And there it is, the final hooter. Well, Leeds go on into the semi-final of the Silk Cup Challenge Cup. Widnes have got a tough job to do now and pick themselves up for next Wednesday's game against Featherstone. But they've shown that they can be a power in the Northern Ford Premiership. If they play like that every week, then they'll be there or thereabouts at the end of the season. But Phil, for Leeds, they must now fancy the chances of going back to Wembley.
Well, what will the draw withhold for the Rhinos? We'll know in a matter of an hour's time or so. Both teams congratulate themselves. A wonderful sight here at the ground. And it's also, you look around the ground and everyone's on their feet. It's one of them bizarre situations where everyone's a happy man today. Widnes fans know that their team are putting a sterling performance. They haven't let themselves down. And the Rhinos fans know that after a dodgy start, the Rhinos have proved their class, and they're in, most importantly, the semi-final of the Challenge Cup. They're 80 minutes away from Wembley, and that's a great feeling, Phil.
Yeah, I don't know if we've used up our cliche allocation today, but certainly Rugby League was the winner today. If you could have written the script, it was perfect for everybody. All the fans have got something to cheer about. Widnes players and coaches can take so much out of this game. If they can learn from some of the things that the Leeds Rhinos put on them, that'll prepare them better for the Northern Ford Premiership. Leeds got as tough a workout as they've had in any of the games they've played this season. Take nothing from the scoreboard. Wigan made it difficult. St Helens were tough nuts to crack. But when it was 10-all here early in the second half, the game could have gone either way, and Widnes deserve enormous credit for that. That said, Field, and those are the kind of people that can turn a game even at this early stage in their career. Applause for all the fans, applause from all the players. It's been a great day for Rugby League.
Certainly was a great day for Rugby League. From me, Phil Daly, from Phil Kaplan, a wonderful time, 40 points to 16.